You can see here, look, it's gone down as low as 20 in 1980 or whatever it was. Yeah, it's gone up as high as 120 or thereabouts in the year 2020 or whenever that was. But it's not very often. It doesn't go there often. The most frequently traded zone is this middle bit.
Yes.
That's where you're going to get the most touches. You could wait a lifetime and get these, but it might not happen. And is it really worth doing that? We think it's far better to just take a piece there, take a piece there, take a bit there, and then a bit there, and a bit there, and a bit there, there, and there, and there, and just keep doing that. Just keep bobbing along and just switching at those points.
Okay.
That is, well, you can see from the chart here, that is going to give you far more switches. You're not going to make as much profit, but you've got to weigh up. Do I do less switches, but each switch is more profitable? Or do I do more switches, but each switch is not as profitable? And we're a little bit more towards the more switches, but less profitable. We don't want these just 2 switches in our lifetime, but we've got to wait, 30 years for it to happen. You just pick up bits along the way.
Yeah.
That's a lot better. The other thing
practical.
That's why we have 10 points, Adam, isn't it? I think that's why we stick to just 10 points, keeping it simple, because you can have 6 points is probably the minimum you want to be going there about 6 points. And some people have done 15 points, 20 points, but we always say 10 is a good average, really, isn't it, Adam? 10,
yeah. And what we mean by 10 points is, let's say, 70 to 80. That's 10 points.
Yeah.
So 10 points between the ratios. You could go for 75 to 85. We're getting into like the detail of it now. But if you just want it to be like, look, I want to make some profit. I want to make sure I'm covering any fees and I'm making a good amount that makes this worthwhile. 10 points is going to see you right. So that's what we want to do. And we just want to do it in this most frequently traded zone.
So Adam, obviously this is new, right? You guys just started this recently, right?
We heard about it many years ago, but we didn't.
Right.
This is when we first got started with precious metals.
7 years ago.
And as anyone knows, when you're first starting out, there's a lot to learn. Or we found that it was just something totally new, and we were like, right, all that stuff sounds great, but can we just focus on, is it safe? Is it better to buy gold or silver? Am I insured? And all those kind of things. It's more recent in the last few years that we've been able to roll this out as something to customers that they can actually profit from it and use.
But we had to get our head around it first, didn't we, Adam? We had to really get our head around it. We sat for hours and hours and hours going through the numbers and testing it all out, doing all the theory, and because we're not going to put it out there until we're 100% confident with it, and we've done it ourselves,
So from your experience, right, how many times have you switched in a year?
Well, it depends which year and which numbers you pick. So let's take this as an example. Let's put these lines in just because it's quite easy for your eye to look at. So let's say you picked 80 and 60, just as an example, yeah?
This is over a 12-month period, right?
This graph here goes from 1975 to 2022.
Oh, I can't see them numbers.
Okay, so it's a long period of time. Yeah, like really long. Was it like 50 odd years or something? Around 50 years. And you picked 60 and 80. So you could say, well, look, from 60 here to get to 80, that took, say, 2.5, 3 years.
Okay.
But then to get from 80 back down to 60, it could have took 6 months, which it kind of did there. And then it dropped a bit, and maybe that was 5 years, and then it got up to 80 again, and then it dropped to 60 in 18 months or whatever. So the ratio does what it does. We're not here to tell it what to do or to have any expectation. We just stack probabilities in our favor, and we say, look, this is the zone that it's most frequently in. So picking numbers in there, tick. That's stacking something in our favor. And then we just wait. We just wait for it to do its thing.
I mean, the way we look at it also, Lee, is, I mean, I think it took me personally, was it 13 months to do my first switch? We started, we put this out for our customers in 15th September 2021.
Right.
Took, I think it was me personally, yeah, it was about 13 months or something. But then after that, I switched 6 weeks later, I think it was. Right. And then another 6 weeks later or a month later, I switched again. And then since then, I've had a few more switched, I think, if I remember right.
Yeah, this is what I was trying to get to. So how many times would you say you've done that in a year since you started doing it?
Since September 21. But also, we've got to explain that I've only switched some of my metal. I've not switched it all. So I've had, how many have I done personally? Maybe 6 or 7. But they're different. How do I put it?
I think we keep it simple for
someone
coming into it new. You could, in the last 2 years, I would say, maybe 6 switches, something like that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, just to keep it really simple. I mean,
because some metal we buy is we're buying all the time, so different ratios. When you're buying at different ratios, aren't you? So some metal you'll be able to switch, some you won't. That's the simple answer to that. And in that example we gave you last week, we did 11. I think it was, Adam, wasn't it? And that was in 20 years, was it?
Yeah.
So but again, it just depends on your points. If you want 6 points, you're going to have more. If you want 10 points difference, you're going to have less in most cases. Or if you want 15 or 20 points difference, like 60, 80 on that graph, then you're going to be waiting longer.
Yeah.
But you'll make more profit.
The whole point about this is if you bought metals with another company, or you just bought and you didn't want to switch, that metal is never going to grow. It will, the value will fluctuate, but the number of grams will never increase. So even if you do 2 switches in your whole investing lifetime and you make an extra 15% of free metal, it's worth doing. That's 15% metal you didn't have to pay for. You didn't have to put your hand in your pocket to get, and it's there. You can do what you want with it. And as your metals go up over time, that 15% of extra metal is also going to go up. So you're going to get a compound effect. So I don't want people to feel like this takes a lot of time. And once you've got the concept, the kind of daily maintenance of it is seconds.
Yeah.
Seconds. It's very, very simple. It's very low maintenance. So when we talk about switching, if you were in the example, we said you bought at 65, which was somewhere here, and it went up to 80, and you bought gold here, you'd be going gold to silver from 65 to 80, 15 points. Yeah, that would be a smart move.